Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering Firehair. She made her first appearance in Marvel Legacy, issue number 1, that was released in September 2017. She's also been known as Lady Phoenix, and she's a prehistoric woman with a very athletic build that has green eyes and long, bright red hair. Now, she's the founding member of the Avengers 1 million BC, and even more impressively, she's the very first human to become an avatar for the Phoenix Force, which likely explains the Phoenix Force's subsequent penchant for women with similar characteristics. Firehair was born a mutant, and therefore had impressive abilities before she even got the Phoenix Force, having various mid-tier psionic abilities that included telepathy as well as telekinesis, which in itself was refined enough that she could have a slight degree of matter manipulation as well, also contributing to her ability to fly. Now, when she became an avatar of the Phoenix Force, she gained vast superhuman powers, with all of her aforementioned mutant abilities being boosted to almost limitless levels, and also gaining the trademark Cosmic Pyrokinesis, being able to generate flames that are powerful enough to quote-unquote melt supernovas. However, that's possible. She also gained vast superhuman strength, speed, durability, and stamina, as well as self-sustenance, functional immortality, and the ability to bestow powers upon others. And to round all of this out, she had a very fierce spirit, loving to cut loose in a good fight. Now, ironically, due to her red hair, as an infant she was abandoned by her parents and her prehistoric tribe, being left at a permanently burned sacrificial area known as the Burnt Place, which is where the region's tribes would curse people to that were different. However, this baby mutant would be rescued from the gathering vultures by a pack of wolves, who would then raise her for years as a member of their pack. One day, when she was about 10 years old, she would be visiting the Burnt Place and would be confronted by a floating man who spoke to her telepathically. She would initially be fearful and retreat from him, but would later decide to follow him around just out of curiosity. Seeing that he was different like her and that he could only communicate with telepathy and move around only with telekinesis, she became friends with him and made the hard decision to leave her wolf pack and join his tribe without fear, which was a group of early mutants that the floating man had rescued from the Burnt Place and taken upon himself to raise and train. Highwalker, as Firehair called him, was now her new mentor. Some years later, we would see Firehair's mutant abilities awaken. This would also be around the time that the neighboring xenophobic tribes would discover and come to attack the tribe without fear. But as Highwalker tried to talk the tribes down to buy his friends some time to get away, Firehair's new psychic abilities would be overwhelmed by the humans' fear and anger. This would result in Highwalker being killed when he dropped his guard to calm her down. She would then pass out, and the rest of her mutant tribe would get angry and attack, which would result in the death of everyone there. Firehair would go on to blame herself for the loss of all of her friends, and would actually go to the Burnt Place to sacrifice herself to the buzzards. But it would seem as if the Phoenix Force had different plans for her. Being drawn to her raw psychic power, it would manifest and bond itself to her, intending on using its new host to raise planets to ashes. After attaining all of this power, Firehair would almost give in to rage and become the Dark Phoenix, but would unexpectedly be calmed by the very wolf that saved her as an infant, in this moment also committing to use her powers for good. Years later, we would see the fully grown and powerful Firehair go to recruit an up-and-coming Asgardian god named Odin Borson, being determined to form a heroic team of supernaturally powered beings. She and Odin would then go out and gather the members of the very first Avengers team, being known as the Avengers 1 million BC. This group would go on to have their first epic battle with the very powerful corrupted Celestial, known as Fallen. It was a tough fight, but after overcoming this powerful being and sealing him away underground, they'd become better with their team skills and their bond. From there, they'd go on to battle any threat to Earth, warding off the first celestial host, battling against Mephisto and his cohorts, and even taking on time-traveling foes, such as a young Thanos. Overall, the first Avengers team would have a good run, and over countless decades, she and Odin's relationship would continue to grow, even as their teammates gradually faded away and they were the only two left alive. At some point, she would stop being the Phoenix Force's avatar and would eventually pass on, albeit with her essence being kept in the Phoenix's white-hot room. Over the centuries, her consciousness would actually exert a slight influence over the Phoenix Force, leading it to often choose hosts from Earth, particularly those with red hair and psionic abilities. However, a major revelation would take place in the most recent period that the Phoenix Force came to Earth to set up a tournament to determine who would be its next avatar. When the powerful Thor would confront the Phoenix, it would manifest as Firehair, who told him that she was his actual mother. Also elaborating that Odin had told him that Gaea was his mother, just to be sure that he would always try to protect the Earth. This information threw Thor, Phoenix Son, for a loop. But at the end of the day, she told her son that in the future she would hopefully tell him the whole story, then waning into the background, letting the Phoenix Force do what it came to do, which was to select its new host. Now, due to her powers and abilities and her influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Firehair a rating of 9, which is an epic rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.